Welcome back, Dota 2 fans. Game 3 decider. Of course, it's upper bracket, so loser does not yet go home. But NaVi versus Team Spirit. Team Spirit taking a pretty convincing game 2 victory from start to finish. Felt like NaVi was on the back foot. Either way, we're overwhelmed, perhaps as predicted by FNG's very teamfight-oriented draft. Kind of all three lanes going pretty darn well. For Spirit in the early going as well. And it looks like we'll get into the draft here. MRP Potom for Game 3. Loser will go on to face the winner of our next matchup, which is Empire versus Vega in the lower bracket. And the winner will move on to take their seat in the BO5 Grand Final of this qualifier.
And I must say, looking at the future lineup, whoever loses this game, you're up against Empire Vega Squadron, which is no easy game by any chance. So I'm pretty sure that they want to secure their slot in the finals, because that's going to be a whole different level. Again, it's just four great teams in this qualifier so far, and just everybody just constantly clashing on each other. Like, not a single series so far going in favor of one team with 2 points. It's always 2-1.
Yeah, especially in the CIS region where these teams are so familiar with one another and very much so kind of similar as far as playstyle goes. But NaVi, one of those teams on the bubble as far as top 8 DPC goes, so they really could use every qualifier win they can get as far as trying to garner some more of those DPC points. But yeah, NaVi, unlike any other team, so fun to cast. You're killing it with the memes in chat, so keep it up. It's entertaining between games. Na got Elder Titan bans from FNG. He's certainly done his homework. As those are two heroes that we've seen NaVi lean on quite a bit recently, and he's banned the Titan in all 3 games. We've seen NaVi pick up a lot of Bane recently, and they hadn't at all touched it today. So we'll see them lean on that here. They do have, again, first pick in this game. We'll see if the Sand King is left in the pool by FNG.
Yeah, I predict either the Dark Wheel or the Sun King getting banned at night. NaVi did go ahead and ban out the Viper. They didn't want to run it against it again. It worked extremely well for Team Spirit last game.
Yeah.
Just G rolling all over the mid lane. Over the safe lane. And just winning the safe lane for them, while their mid lane was a decent matchup, but Viper just came online in the mid game. And kind of the same thing you would expect from like a Gyrocopter, constantly fighting, getting one damage item, then going into defensive items, and just always apply the pressure and wait for your carry to come online, and then just keep pushing towers and never stop.
Yeah, and
it's the Willowban.
Kind of a running theme as well with this NaVi team that I've seen recently, and it's the ironic that he's wearing the crown as far as drafting goes, but Dendy has kind of sacked himself a lot. As far as the laning configuration goes, as far as picking his hero early on, and in both the first and second games, he's had a very rough go. 1v1 up against G's Viper in game 1, and then in game 2, DK up against a very powerful kind of roaming squad from Team Spirit. So we'll see if they give a little bit more onus to him to kind of carry the game. They have leaned on his Magnus yesterday in game 3 against Vega. So perhaps they'll give him a little bit more kind of significance as far as drafting towards his success in this 3rd game. But Spirit can open with the Chen here. So certainly,
Chen and Death Prophet. That is so much push straight off the bat. Like, not wasting any time. They used like 1 second of the reserve time. The rest was spent on the ban. I like that pick. I like that pick a lot.
Yeah, definitely something that's a little bit more versatile, and not only that, but kind of resilient to this very aggressive potential early on from the Chen and the Death Prophet. Death Prophet is certainly a hero in general that gives you kill potential in the mid lane, and Chen, a hero that in any lane amplifies kill potential in spades. So definitely the Mirana a little bit more elusive, can take out the Chen creeps instantly with the arrow as well. So in general, kind of a good solution to that.
Yeah, they also got the Rubik Lift, which is always handy to have it on one of the creeps, like the stun creep, tossing it back when a gank comes in. So it's all about the reactions. They want to protect their lanes as efficient as possible. I would argue this is a position 4 Mirana, not a position 3 offlane or any shenanigans there. So they're probably just going to run it in the roaming position, similar to Nerf Spit, just lingering around, trying to catch Team Spit off guard when they let their guard down.
Yeah, I suppose there's the outside potential that Dendy picks it up in the mid lane, but in general, you would expect it to be, as you mentioned, in that 4 position. You talked about the gyro earlier. that is going to be banned out. Spirit again going to ban the Doom, and I think for the second time in this series going to take out the Lifestealer for Crystallize. It's a hero he's been very comfortable with, and a hero that in general they tend to pick up against, you know, heroes like Disruptor and Death Prophet, where he can just kind of play the front line.
Question is, what do they want to go for in their lineup right now? Do they just fully commit to the push from Team Spirit and just try to end as fast as possible with this Chen pick, or really risk going later on with the Chen and relying on the snowball? And that's definitely here that benefits from pushing and ending early on. So more movement coming out.
Yeah, a bit of a beefier front line, a little bit of some wave clear as well, at least for their side. So can kind of help them, you know, in some ways. The Underlord kind of opens the map up for your team. Just being able to kind of sit in lane, feel fairly tanky, you know, allow for time for reactions, but more than anything, kind of push the wave out and provide vision and allow your team to farm the safe areas of the map. So in some respects, this is kind of a fallback plan for them as far as, you know, allowing them to scale a little bit later into the game, but does definitely fit as well into that theme of push. And it'll be NaVi in this game to actually ban the Broodmother, so perhaps eyeing up a little bit more of a single target damage oriented hero here. Dendi, Queen of Pain, kind of stands out to me, but it is a bit early for that pickup. They are going to go for the Ancient Apparition for now, so a great hero to cut into both the Death Prophet and the Underlord, and in some respects to negate that Hand of God.
Yeah, A is a prime pickup here, and especially with the Miranda, they might go for something more like in a D, still going forward, just to have that setup for the arrow. You have a terrific amount of stuns already on your team. Yeah. If you manage to combo that up with anything else, that's just phenomenal. Then you lock down the Death Prophet in mid so much, or anybody in a team fight you wish to lock down.
Yeah, the Crystallize, you know, not too many teams tend to run this, but the Safe Lane Void is something that NaVi has leaned on quite a bit. And, you know, the throwback combo Mirana Void, Ancient Apparition Void, and against the DP Underlord definitely feels like it's something that NaVi's considering here. We'll see what FNG has in mind as far as his next pick goes.
I could see something like a Juggernaut coming out. Just going for that reliable hero that builds into Battle Fury, amplifies his farm, pushes out some lanes while the team is pushing on the other side of the map, and then meeting up with the team for like a big fight. It's not too bad against Murano, and you have that spin to get rid of Cold Feet. You know, you can dodge the arrow with it. So I would say Juggernaut looks really good here.
Yeah, just in general, the spell immunity looks pretty darn good versus Navi's side.
Still taking their time, so they're not entirely sure if they want to commit to the pushing strat, I would argue. Have a phenomenal amount of push already, so adding pretty much anything on top of it might be too much, and they have to plan for the late game in case the Chen does not hit off the ground as fast. Nope, it's the PL again.
Yeah, they'll lean back on the PL. I mean, he was up against every possible counter in the game last game, and they still were able to eke out the win. So, and I shouldn't even say eke; they really did it with force. So they'll lean back on the PL here. Pretty reliable dodge in general to the Ice Blast of the Ancient Apparition, which is going to be, for all intents and purposes, a very large element in the Navi team fight. Again, though, kind of flags this Void to me for Navi. See what kind of direction they go in. Not too many, you know, great heroes as far as dealing with PL thus far. Their side.
Yeah, PL fills a similar role, and I think it's fine picking him up over something like a Juggernaut. You have the other benefit of that. He is extremely well off against the Mirana in the lane, just completely wins it over against her due to the fact that you can't leap away from every Spirit Lance. Navi is going for a Sniper. That's a bold move against the Phantom Lance on the Chen.
Yeah, two heroes that are in your face and want to be, and Death Prophet, a hero that in general builds a plethora of items that provide move speed bonuses. So, yeah, it's a kind of feast or famine pick. Definitely, if they build, you know, this front line in this final pick, certainly Sniper is one of the scarier heroes in the game. But you know, it does feel like they're going to have to pay a good amount of mind towards the mid lane with a Death Prophet Chen there. You know, Sniper 1v1 versus DP Surgeon sounds great, and there's the Void ban from Team Spirit, and I certainly feel like that's kind of the direction Dendi was going with this second kind of range core, with the Mirana already being on the field. But FNG certainly wary of that.
I'm gonna predict a Troll Warlord for NaVi here. Sniper, Mirana, Troll Warlord, that's a lot of attack speed that you can deal with. Also, 2 heroes already that built into a mere stream against the Phantom Lancer, which is insane amount of magic damage in the fight. And then you have a pretty beefy tanky frontliner with the Troll Hunter. He's also really good against the Underlord.
Yeah, and
sitting on the offlane.
Effectively a little bit more tanky with the Whirling Axes as well against the PL, having the blind there. So it could be a really nice pickup. Definitely feels like Dendi had,
It's also interesting how Team Spirit does not choose to reveal their position 5 pick until the very end. There's not many big position 5s left that may have a significant impact. Might be something like a Bounty Hunter coming out just in case, so they have that mid game where they can just get ahead more and more. Because we all know if you have a Bounty Hunter on your side and you even have the slightest lead, you're not going to lose it.
Yep, I certainly feel Disruptor can fit as well. Really nice in lineups that want to chase heroes down, especially like the Sniper. And I've always felt that the Death Prophet Disruptor is a very potent duo early on. We'll see what FNG ends up picking up. But the Sand King for NaVi, so they definitely did need some hold in the front lines and did need some catch, and Sand King provides that in some respects. And in some ways it is a solution to the PL, but we saw last game that, on paper, although the Sand King can be a solution to the PL, in practice a little bit more difficult, especially with him being the major source of lockdown on his team. I mean, you're going to have to hit like a lift arrow on this PL to be able to kill him off. So I'm a little bit worried for NaVi as far as, dealing with the PL here. Disruptor. And it is going to be the Disruptor for Spirit.
Of course, Disruptor. Can't miss him out in any draft, as he's always there. The most underbanned hero that is in the meta, if you ask me. He's just so valuable for every team. You have the Glimpse as one of the best repositioning spells in the game. You have an insane ultimate, which is an instant AoE silence, and you have a field to further restrict the movement. It's just so good. And especially against a Sniper who is naturally fairly slow and can't really run. Now you also add a Glimpse on top of that with like a Phantom Lancer rushing at him with 10 creeps around. Then Sniper needs a lot of protection in this game from both General on the Sand King as well as from the Mirana Crystallized Blade. Just reliably hitting the arrows, especially on like Death Prophet and the key targets, which are 10 creeps.
Yeah, again, it feels like we're loading into this game perhaps slightly worried about Dendi's position and how he can fare. Feels like he should be okay in the early game, but one rotation from Biver can certainly throw his timings off, and then thereafter you have so much chase potential with the the Phantom Rush, the Glimpse, the Death Prophet having all her move speed. So we'll see. Once again, it feels like Dendi has kind of sacrificed himself, nobly so, in the draft, but NaVi kind of for many years now goes as he does. So we'll see how he fares in this one. And I haven't seen a Crystallized Mirana in quite a while. Certainly a flexible player overall, but not a hero player combination that I'm all that familiar with.
I'm always a fan for any Mirana pick in any situation. Don't get me wrong here.
FNG gonna have his smoke expire. We'll drop down a ward. It looks like it probably was scouted by Crystallize. So we'll see if that's promptly dewarded here, but Lil does have a sentry on his person. Makes his way over.
Free experience. Sentry ward can just be rebought with the extra 100 gold. Yeah, and with that, they should not be going for any aggressive play on the top runes. So instead of just spreading up, are you giving up the bottom runes completely? Nope, they're still rotating over, but they're going to reach it in time, so should be 3 runes for NaVi here.
Yeah, General almost playing tentatively, wondering why there's nobody around here. But
where's everybody? Why am I always alone?
Looks like he should be able to.
You must be so worried. Where's that smoke gang?
They may even secure 4 runes. It looks like 4 runes for NaVi here early on. As the Mirana arrow threat as well, top lane, is a bit too much for DK Phobos to hang around.
Yeah, suddenly 1k gold lead. Not even 1 minute in.
Easy. A ward and 4 runes will do that, I suppose. LeBron gonna take towards the mid lane, as does FNG. And it looks like once again they will put Illidan on this PL in towards the mid. as perhaps he can get in the face of the sniper a little bit more quickly with the Phantom Rush than the Death Prophet would be able to.
They definitely have to watch out for the Chun gangs. He's not successful so far, he's still hitting creeps to spawn. In general, it's just gonna do what he does best. Just, I'm gonna sandstorm your creep wave and I'm gonna get farmed because there's no true side to be found yet, just yet. Regarding the mid lineup with LeBron on the Ancient Aberration, you have that chilling touch, which is a lot of damage, and Sniper is always able to reach somebody to not waste any charges. And it also makes for some easy last hit in the lane. Has to deal with the constant Spirit Lance though.
Thunderstrike as well, pretty damn good damage ability, at least early on. Wow, Glimpse. Back onto LeBron. Spirit Lance, one more right click. Oh, he just makes it out. And actually TP's in towards the mid tower. So rotating through with the Chen, Biver. One rock, second rock hits on the Dendy. Beautiful micro from Biver. And no Spirit Lance available, but just a big right click from Illidan. Will net them the second kill here, and that big lead that Navi had accrued early on almost going to be nullified here, but the mid lane going rather disastrously early on. Now G perhaps in a little bit of trouble bot lane. There's no Caustic Finale slow though, and he does have the Spirit Siphon, so looks like he'll make it to safety.
Yeah, lots of rounds damage taken. He's going to force out all the region from G. In general, should be getting a lot of experience from this bottom lane. The main focus will be on the mid lane. They have to lock the sniper down as much as they can. They even have to run back to mid.
My thrift rewarded.
He's just... He feels so squishy. They don't have any defensive support sitting around the mid lane. And Rubik is sitting on the top lane, trying to outzone the Unlord, which they're pretty successful at, and actually locking him down with... well, you get double damage. But still, your main focus has to be the sniper.
As it has been all series, it's been Dendy's lane where Team Spirit resides for the most part during their early game. And Dendy with 5 CS now on the sniper, certainly not ideal. And they're spending a lot of time. Yeah, and they're spending a lot of time around him with the supports as well. He's level 2 at this point, whereas the PL has eclipsed the level 3 mark. So seems like this gap perhaps can only widen in the mid lane.
Yeah, the early end is actually going pretty well for Team Spirit. Would be the bottom of the DP. At least gets a little bit of farm in. Not able to contest general. I changed it with the gank here. Should have a burst strike.
Yeah, we'll go through the DP and one more right click and a Crypt Swarm should be able to. Oh, the stick is there from general.
Gets him.
Trial by blade.
And we'll be able to break him down. Yeah, slow cooldown on that nuke. We'll get 2 off over the course of that kill. And as you mentioned,
it's the most annoying spell there is because you can't predict how far it actually travels. It's just so huge. It almost like 1,400 travel distance. It shows up like 600 if you hover over it, but it's like, it's insane. And the AAE range is just, it's like a little AA blast without defense.
Buys it again, just wayward of general, and it looks like he'll be able to make it away even when the penitents should be able to waddle back. And it looks like LeBron now going to spend some time alongside general bot lane, but they are going to leave the 1v1 mid where Dendy's still yet to get his level 3, and rotating back in is the Disruptor with 2 levels in the Glimpse now. So no Radiant Vision up on the high ground in the mid lane, but Dendy still needs to be playing safe.
Yeah. If they manage to get a glimpse when he's running away and he's under constant pressure from the Spirit Lands, he's gonna run into a lot of trouble in the mid lane. As for LeBron, he has a completely offensive support. Like he can't really cold feed Illidan anyways because there's a doppelganger on board. So the only potential target in the mid lane is FNG on the Disruptor.
Sentries will go down simultaneously and be eliminated as well. FNG now does get the vision that they sorely need for this Disruptor's aggressive potential. Now bot lane general going to go for the TPL. Should be successful in doing so, and is, but has to spend more time out of lane, and 5-minute shrine will be used instantly by him, it seems. He's dusted up though and actually takes a few right clicks from the creeps, but he'll be just fine to make it over to the shrine.
A very cool interaction. Just get the assist gold, move the dust. Yeah. He's getting a lot of experience, and again, he's going for the Sandstorm and Burst Strike build, just maximum. It's skipping Caustic Final. Not useful against Death Prophet anyways. Not really any good target on the lineup from Team Spirit where he could utilize it on.
Cold Feet gonna fly out mid, but Illidan just fine. Pretty much doubling up Dendi and CS at this point. But they haven't really made any aggressive moves. Although this would be the time. Biver rotating in, Penitence ready. And looks like the first thing he'll run into.
Ward on the wrong side.
NG hanging around as well. It is nighttime, but they do catch a glimpse of the Disruptor now. Glimpse will find him. Kinetic Field will latch, and rotating in with the Chen should be an easy kill onto LeBron. Biver the one to pick up the last hit here, and they do it right on the timing of the siege creep, where they'll charm the enemy siege and look to put some punishment into this tier 1, and there's really nothing Dendi can do to defend this here, as he's just...
Yeah, you have no counter push early on. The only thing you remotely have is the Sun King, and he's level 4. Your AA is on level 3, so you will never contest this push. Like, as soon as you walk up to them, yeah, you're gonna catch the Spirit Lance, he's gonna run towards to you and force you back on the tower. If not, just dive you and kill you.
And this is 30 DPS with the siege creep. Top lane, DK Phobos will go down. Lil did have a double damage rune, and Crystal Eye is able to leap in to contribute there, but I mean, Spirit are just fine with this sub 7 minutes. The tier 1 tower going down in the mid lane.
And they're winning all the lanes. Like, the Underlord is struggling a little bit, but even he finds himself a good amount of farm. He's on par with Dendi in terms of last hits. Has the Soul ringing up, so you can constantly spam at Firestorm. I imagine they just keep pushing with this channel.
General rotating in, but is scouted by the Chen creep. Biver could be in trouble. Will get burrowed up and brought down.
What blasphemy is this?
Illidan rotating in, but he's by his lonesome, and DK Phobos made his way to the top lane again. Does get lifted into the arrow, but feels like he should survive. Has some wand charges. Now the leap forward by Crystallize. He's in trouble under the tower. Firestorm burning him down, and the return kill will be there from DK Phobos. Experience, of course, goes the way of Spirit, but it's a pretty heavy commitment overall, and you know, Illidan continuing to farm away in the mid lane, and Dendi postured up defensively behind his tier 2. G free farming in the bot lane. 22 denies even on the Death Prophet is level 8, so it is an expendable death for Spirit, especially considering they take the Mirana off the map at the same time.
My
yeah, this Mirana so far did not rotate. He's constantly farming. He's going for the Maelstrom, so they're gonna finish it up on Crystallize first. Can only imagine Dendi is gonna go for something similar once he reaches like a Dragon Lance or like full stuff. And then that's where they keep timing hits. They want to finish up those items, and then they want to push against the PL when he can't deal with the magic amount of magic damage yet.
Biver has a dust on him, and will be able to pop it, find the AA, run away from General. General tries to burrow defensively, and Lil will rotate in. They get the lift up. Crystallize finally rotating, but the Spirit Siphon is there for G. Now rotation in from the Disruptor. Meanwhile, Dendi goes down solo to the PL, and the send back on the DP is successful, quote unquote. PL gonna be blown up instantly as he makes his way bottom. I'm not even sure how that happened.
That was an interesting interaction, that's for sure. They just blew up the PL with, I believe it was the, yeah, it's the level 2 Ice Vortex with the Sun King. Just dealing so much magic damage he can't deal with.
Starstorm was there as well.
Yeah, Starstorm, Burst Strike, as well as having the amplified damage on Sandstorm. That's a pretty good combination. I have a lot of magic damage, but that's a big win for NaVi, actually. They also, yeah, with DP getting sent back as well, Exorcism takes out the team on top, which is a little bit of a win for them, but the game is still even at this point. It feels like Team Spirit should be ahead like by like 2,000, 3,000 gold at this point.
Yeah, I felt like that sendback ended up being a bit of a detriment. You can't really blame Biver, as he knew he was going to go down as the Mirana rotated in, but I guess overall a bit of a miscommunication. DP was being sent back and the TP inbound from the PL, and then he rushes in even after that send back happens. Gets blown up. You certainly don't expect to be blown up that suddenly as a PL, but either way, it's a costly death for them. And overall, we look at the levels. Crystallize has now surpassed both the Underlord and the PL, sitting on level 8, but G has had a great early game overall. And meanwhile, top lane, Disruptor looking for Lil is going to get lifted back, but does have the haste rune, and will be able to glimpse back Lil into his death.
Yeah, that's just one of the outtakes. If there's a haste Disruptor with a team behind him running towards you, you know you're dead. Like, you don't even tell your team. That just happens. But I feel like NaVi is still doing what they do best. They give space to Dendi right now. You mentioned it in the draft that they sacrifice him a lot, but it feels like this game they try to recover from it and they really try to give him as much as possible.
Yeah.
Now they're just creating space all over the map with the fight at bottom, with the pick off top, only the Rubik getting caught off guard. It could be worse. It could be Dendi constantly getting ganked and getting shot down. So far, he reaches at least a little bit of farm for himself.
Yeah. Crystallize doing well as well. Perhaps the only silver lining of the early game for NaVi, and is building into that maelstrom that you alluded to earlier. General bot lane though found out Static Storm is there. Will not latch with the kinetic field and is going to go for the epicenter, trying to bring down FNG with him. Illidan actually taking a ton of damage here as well. Burrow Strike not going to be available though for another second, and General unfortunately drops without getting the kill on FNG. No point in Caustic Finale is going to suck for him there, as Disruptor does make it away to safety. Meanwhile, Crystallize does get a kill onto Biver and is able to make it away to the Shrine. And now a smoke up from LeBron and Lil. Ice Blast up in 20 seconds, so looking to make something happen with this. Certainly Ice Blast can put a big wrench into what the DP tries to do with her Spirit Siphon, so the target will be G.
Especially with all the magic damage coming up from Arona. They have so many tools to actually deal damage, especially with the Yules not being up. G kind of smells it, but...
Well, nice silence, TP out. Ice Blast is there. The Cold Feet will not proc in time, though. And a very heads-up play from G with that value point in the silence.
Yeah, and he makes so much space with them. Now they even go for the counter smoke. You're going to get a lot of vision out on the field, even though they missed the wall just by an inch. But still, they will be sitting around for not much longer, I assume. Just going back. They're getting skated out now as well, so... yeah, so NaVi should know there's a ward around.
Yeah, alright, able to find it.
However, that worked out.
EK Phobos gonna look to shove in the mid in the meantime. General, again, bottom lane under a sentry though here. Illidan should be able to take him out, and does. A nice solo kill going the way of the PL. That's gonna be essentially Diffusal Blade completed up for him very shortly here.
Yeah, that's again a great time for him at 30 minutes. Ooh, FNG.
Yeah, Ice Blast will be there. Lil even with the stolen Spirit Siphon. And even Dendi getting in to contribute to that kill. Looks like he... yeah, did not actually end up getting experience for it. But either way, feeling, you know, that he can finally fight with his squad here. Looking to pick up the level 8 shortly.
Yeah, it's a bit unfair. He contributed 52 damage, but didn't get anything. I know that's one hit.
Rip.
He did do something.
Yeah.
He's constantly farming it in the mid lane, and he's recovering. He's almost on par to get up to the Death Prophet once more.
General
but
bot
still,
lane.
Yes.
No, the epicenter whiffing. Illidan will cop an Ice Blast for his troubles, but will be more than happy with that as he picks up the diffusal, and more than likely that will sound the full-blown push here with the epicenter down on this tier 1. General going to try and Sandstorm up the wave. Static Storm is there, and the kinetic field latches. Nice play by FNG. Will secure them a kill and more than likely a tower. Looks like NaVi actually more than willing to fully defend this. Sentry is down, is going to catch Crystallize. Glimpse away though onto the Mirana. Illidan going to be fine for now. Lil going to try and find him in the corner. Ice Blast is going to whiff as the send back from the Chen going to keep Illidan safe. Nice play from Biver there, and they won't get the tower, but it's a major commitment from NaVi, where elsewhere we have G farming in the mid lane, and DK Phobos now going to be pressured by Crystallize, but did complete up that Hood of Defiance in the top.
Yeah, but they're able to defend the towers, which ultimately gives the sniper even more space. And we all know how sniper works at a late game. You're protected by 4 of your cores just being in the front line, and you just sit happily in the back just hitting people. So I feel like they're absolutely fine with this. Crystallize has to watch out. He's out of mana top.
Yeah, haste is going to be there, and he uses his last leap charge. Yules will be there as well, but General going to rotate in. G feeling a little bit confident is going to run into 3 heroes. And NaVi going to be able to punish him for it. Crystallize able to create space long enough. as unfortunately G guesses wrong, taking the outer route to find the Mirana, and takes a little bit too long.
That's, again, that looks like a slight misstep, but it's actually pretty huge for NaVi. They managed to get more on the line. They delayed the game effectively by another minute. Every time there's anything happening in favor of NaVi, this sniper just profits from it double. He had a really terrific early game, and he's struggling so much, but now he's almost recovered. He's up on par with the Underlord. He's about to finish up his Hurricane Pike. Not his Hurricane. Never mind, not the Hurricane Pike. He finished up the Mask of Madness on Treads. Now he's looking for the Hurricane Pike. That way, right?
Either way, gonna help accelerate his farm in the Burrow mid lane. Gonna fly out. G gets the Yule Scepter off, but the Ice Blast chilling effect is still there, and he will end up dropping. Dendi gonna get glimpsed back. Do they really have enough to take him out, though? As FNG in trouble as well, lifting him up is Lil and bringing him down with the Fade Bolt. BK Phobos far too late to the fray to really make any sort of impact. Biver bottom with 2 siege creeps is simply gonna send them back as a reaction flies through from Lil. Lil will even take out one of the Centaur Conquerors. And General with the Blink Dagger stalking in the mid lane, looking for any stragglers to show face. BK Phobos will, from safety it seems, push out the mid lane. And he's a little bit of a difficult target to go on. But as you mentioned, that major kill in the top lane kind of dragging this game out. And it really feels like Navi are totally back within this game. In fact, they have a slight lead as far as net worth goes. And yet, we haven't seen this early diffusal put to use here for Illidan.
That's true. The game is still even out, and it's only 1k lead, but it feels like 5-6k lead for Navi. Simply because they have a sniper farming. They up against the Chen, who's not doing anything right now. Like, he can't push any talent. The team bottom is still up running. He's not going into that Aghanim Scepter, so a lot of passive gold sitting around until it comes online. It just feels like Navi's doing everything right, and they play defensive with a lot of team fun.
4-man smoke crystallized to join them as well. General does have the Blink Dagger. Not the most ideal target in the Underlord mid lane, so they're going to look for something a bit more appealing.
What was spotted out the smoke though?
Navi still going to run into it. The Static Storm will be there onto 2. The Root is there as well, but Dendi still going to be able to fire away from the backlines with the Assassinate General. And FNG close by, but the Sand King, he's out in no man's land now, is going to be brought down. And as you mentioned, Spirit prepared for that by virtue of the vision that they had deep in the enemy jungle, and they will immediately go for the counter smoke, trying to bring down a little bit more after getting the SK and AA. They'll duck themselves into the Roche pit. And Illidan looking for more here. Dendi playing safe though. And yeah, Medallion on the Chen. Exorcism is there, and the Firestorm from the Underlord gonna make quick work of this Roche.
Biver shit just in time, realizing, yeah, might not want to stick around down.
Crystallize in the meantime, pushing in the bottom lane. Creeps will get a minimum amount of damage done on the tier 3. But continuing to farm away, Maelstrom being built up by Dendi as well, so a couple of different cores to kind of deal with the PL illusions. And Illidan has gone for the Shadow Blade himself, so really looking to get into that back line.
Yeah, that's a more interesting item for a PL. That's usually something you wouldn't expect. Most of the time you see Blink Dagger coming up instead if you really need some ability. It's also not really that he can build into something like a Silver Edge and disable any passives, because, well, frankly, they are normal Navi. It's just, well, I guess more of a flavor item, getting more damage in. Also, you did not go for any Battle Fury, so you can really benefit from the additional attack speed, I would say, with general top. You are dead, my friend.
Yep, and he will be brought down. Stick going to be used, but to no avail. As G caught him out a moment before that, and he was able to escape, but just kind of hanging around and feeling that with that silence on cooldown, he would have been just fine to survive.
Oh, gets the proc. He gets so lucky on the Maelstrom bottom. PL, Illidan was going for the kill on Crystallize, but he, like, out of 4 attacks, he chained like 3 times. And cleared out all the illusions.
RNG in the favor of the long-standing brand, Navi.
Well, more like Well, like some really good maths there. Like complete calculation with Crystallize. That's what it comes down to.
Crystallize going to make his way back to base, and top lane Lil from a safe distance looking to defend. 2 siege creeps here though. Lift back into the Ice Blast, and the send back is there from Biver preemptively, as they kind of anticipated this defense. Dendi going to look to farm top lane. He has his Maelstrom as well.
Yeah, now we have 2 Maelstroms against the PL, and that's his nightmare. Because now his illusions are going to be entirely worthless.
And what's more is both these cores are going to be able to accelerate their farm. Dendi has been behind for a while. We'll get Thunderstruck up. Dark Rift going to come through. The Moonlight Shadow will be there, but perhaps a little bit too little, too late, as Dendi glimpsed back into the Static Storm. Meanwhile, mid lane, G in trouble. They're going to look to go on him and Crystallize. Well, Hand of God and Yules is there for now. Lil hanging around with the Crypt Swarm. G going to have a couple of siphons there, keeping him alive. And one more right click. They will be able to get the Aegis, but they've committed fairly deep for this. Now General rotating in. Ice Blast is going to be there preemptively, beautifully chained, and the Death Prophet going to be shredded. Now Arrow is going to catch DK Phobos as well. He's in trouble on the Underlord, despite having the Crimson Guard. He's all out by his lonesome. Navi assembled as a full unit, with Dendi going down earlier in the top lane. It looks like they will be able to extract themselves from any further danger.
Haste.
Yeah, overall, Spirit is trying their best, don't get me wrong. They're utilizing the channel as much as they possibly can, but it's just the AA with all the stun control from Navi that is able to delete the Death Prophet in the fight. And that was with Aegis as well. So they just killed the DP twice. They got absolutely nothing out of his Aegis. They also lost the PL for them, unfortunately. They get the pick off on the Sniper, which is good, but he just finished up the Maelstrom, so he didn't have any gold he could lose. So it doesn't set him that much back.
Tribute.
Full Mjolnir available now as well for Crystallize, so gonna help him shove lanes, but basically to be able to take a target away from the PL in the fights with that static charge.
Yeah, down on the Sniper, and PL will not be able to hit him.
And Dendi farming away as well, looking to build into that BKB. Always going to be an item that's useful up against a Disruptor, especially as a hero who wants to be able to keep his distance. And that'll be a major addition to Navi's ability to continue to fight.
It's actually committing to the Silver Edge. Maybe to just lock down the Sniper and get his headshot taken away. But I don't know. I don't see the point of the Silver Edge so far, because if you're a PL and you're close enough to his Sniper where you disable his passives, does the Sniper even need his passive anymore? Probably not. So a bit questionable, but I might find LeBron.
Too bad.
Static Storm going to be even used as they walk up a choke and are afraid of the Ice Blast and any further response from Navi. But they'll get a LeBron kill. Unfortunately for them, Roche not up for a good while, of course, with themselves taking it out not too long ago. But they will look to pressure this tier 2. Exorcism going to be expended for it. And G will drop the silence so as not to get it stolen. Moonlight Shadow is there. Yules for a moment for Lil, but he will be taken out, as will this tier 2. Crystallize opting to continue to split push bottom on the Mirana. Will be able to take a tier 2 out of his own.
No fortification either. There's an Ice Blast available at an Epicenter actually, but...
Oh, Epi comes through. Ice Blast is there. They do get the 1 kill on the Disruptor. Ice Blast a little bit late. Don't feel like they get any other kills regardless, even if it connects. But teams will trade tier 2s when all is said and done, and supports.
Yeah, perfect Uber driver DK Phobos. Playing pretty well as well. Haven't died on the offlane beside that one time against Mirana, but just to be expected, to be honest. At one point you're going to catch the arrow if you dodge for 15 minutes. But he's still pretty solid, and he's not unkillable, but he's definitely tanky enough and actually gets sent back. He has a TP. Okay.
It's sent back, and they will concede that tier 1 in the mid lane. Mirana just a recipe away from her BKB. Dendi a slight bit closer is going to farm up a stack of Ancients here. And starting to become a real force in this game is Dendi after what was certainly a subpar start.
Once he gets his BKB up on the sniper, together with the Mjolnir charge from the Murano, he's gonna basically be becoming untargetable for Spirit, because if they commit everything on him, they're gonna blindly run into an epicenter, into an ice blast, into the Murano, dealing a damage. Nice. Get side with General, getting caught off guard top.
And as you alluded to earlier, Crystallize and the rest of NaVi doing a great job in kind of that 15 to 25 minute mark of taking the aggressive farm and giving the safe farm to Dendi, and he has certainly benefited from it immensely. Lil even
he's still
with
lacking
a
a
veil.
lot of levels. But I think he really wants that level 20, especially level 15 as well. So to have either the additional attack speed or the shrapnel DPS, both is insanely good this game. Shrapnel because there's all the PL illusions you want to clear out. Attack speed because, well, there's all the PL illusions to clear out, so he benefits from both talents equally with the Maelstrom up and running.
LeBron gonna deny a little bit of vision as NaVi posture aggressively in the Radiant jungle with the tier 2 gone, can kind of constantly keep this lane shoved. Veil up on Lil, and the Firestorm stolen. He'll be able to do that with ease. And this will at least give them some information as to the whereabouts of Spirit as the siege creep begins to plink away at the tier 3.
It's the quickest race on this up. But still, I feel like this silver edge on the PL is just, what are you accomplishing with it? Yes, it's a good amount of stats which you need on the PL, I can see that, but you really want to, you want that break to disable something important, because right now he's not even utilizing the Shadowblade to gank effectively because it's such a late timing. You can spot him out in the jungle, so nothing will come off this, they're just gonna back out. It just, yeah, you basically have an item that you spend almost 4,000 gold on, which basically is a glorified Blink Dagger at this point.
Certainly doesn't feel as scary as his net worth might indicate. But again, Lil just constantly keeping this bottom lane shoved out, and he's actually got LeBron nearby in case anyone needs to show face bottom. General posturing mid, but not much vision for the dire side in that area, as General simply playing blind.
Vanish.
Now bot lane, Ice Blast will connect onto Disruptor. Crimson Guard will be there. He'll get the Static Storm off, but Lil, while trying to get out, he is able to be force-staffed away. The Disruptor will end up going down. Lil gonna use himself up, but likely to fall shortly. It'll be the 1-for-1 trade, but there's no Ice Blast available. General hanging around, has the Epicenter and the Blink available. Will duck himself into the trees, thinks about queuing it up, but his AA gonna die so quickly that he will just turn tail and run.
Yeah, this is a favorable trade for Team Spirit. They managed to squeeze 1,000 gold out of it. However, it still feels like NaVi is still benefiting from this. You lost an AA who doesn't have any high level anyway, so he's up in 30 again. Same with the Rubik. You even got a kill traded out, so in the end it's more space for Denny on the sniper. Mirana was farming top. They scattered the roach as well, get rid of a creep in the pit, establishing vision on the map. It feels like they're doing everything right. They don't need this game to be over in 10 minutes. It feels like Team Spirit has to. They have to end this in like the next 10-15 minutes. Because even if their PL gets to the part, gets to the BKB, even then you take a phenomenal amount of damage against the sniper later on.
Yeah, Crystallize gonna jump forward onto FNG. Hand of God will be there, but the Ice Blast flying through doesn't really connect onto anyone, and now BKB is gonna be popped out by Crystallize. Illidan forced to back away, but they do get that BKB charge away from the Mirana, which is gonna mean likely they can take this Roche out. Now Uber trying to take them away, and it will be able to. They get the Aegis and the Dark Rift.
Awkward. Just imagine the Underlord ultimate out and they actually leave the Aegis on the ground. That almost happened.
Well, they'll be able to secure it, no less. And G will be the one to pick it up on the DP.
Yeah, it's important to deny that from Dendi on the sniper, because the last thing you want in this game is a sniper you have to kill twice if you can't achieve it once.
Smiles upon me.
BK Phobos, wisely so, going to back out of this bottom lane as General TPing in the rest of his unit smoked up. They do have both BKBs on Dendi and Crystallize, so certainly fight ready at this point despite there being an Aegis, and it looked like they were trying to use the element of surprise Right after that Aegis attempt to get a fight. Now Kinetic Field going to jump out. They will find the Disruptor. Ice Blast will hit point blank range onto FNG. He will end up dropping. DK Phobos a little bit too tanky to pursue. And now from the back lines, Illigan going to jump in alongside G. They do not have Exorcism for this fight, though. And Dendy going to be able to turn to the north and run. Now turns around, going in onto G. Epicenter going to fly through. Really only connects onto DK Phobos. The Burrow Strike is onto 2, though, and nobody touching Dendy as he has free reign in the back to take out G's Aegis. General hanging around. Sandstorm is there. DK Phobos TPing in towards the shrine. G gonna pop the BKB, but taking so many right clicks from the sniper. He is able to back into the fog, however, and now DK Phobos trying to jump up towards the sniper. Illidan jumping forward with the Silver Edge. Dendy turning and completely running. Break is there onto the Mirana. One more right click will take out Crystallize. And overall, Spirit are able to withstand. It looks like the press from NaVi, but Illidan in trouble now, does not have the cheese, and he's just going to end up dropping. Now, coming through is Dendy with the Assassinate, connects onto DK Phobos. He needs to get into the fight. Shrapnel will be there to slow them for a moment. FNG in trouble, is going to glimpse back Dendy, but not before he dies. And now Rubik as well for Lil, trying to run away. Will drop down the Firestorm and make his way out. Spirit Lance available for Lil. Oh, the Crypt Swarm nicely placed by G. Is going to be able to get the kill on the back lines. And really, NaVi, for all their troubles, pretty much just get, you know, an Aegis and a PL kill. But even for the PL kill, Crystallizer was already dead at that point. Dendy was, you know, 3,000 or 4,000 units away from the fight. So it didn't feel like they got all that much experience for it. And if you look at the team fight recap, it's net. 2,000 experience going the way of Spirit and about 1,000 gold.
Yeah, and especially about the gold to this point. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit like it was a little unpredicted. Then actually the PL goes down in the fight against 3 supports only. That was just to the burst damage. But overall, you manage to hold your foot in the game, even with the Aegis and everything. So it's not like they have to. They're under no pressure from that, and they know. So they're gonna keep initiating like that, where they just put pretty much put FNG in the front line and sacrifice them and trade off for like an AA blast, and then try to initiate on top of it. With the BKB finished up than PL, they should have more favorable trades in the next fight.
Yeah, it's there is something to be said, however, for NaVi, you know, knowing that in some sense Team Spirit is on a burn timer. They're pretty comfortable with their late game, so they opt to take the Aegis fight on the other side of the map rather than taking it anywhere close to their base. So despite losing that, you know, it feels like overall that they can still kind of execute their game plan here.
They still have to watch out because Unload is on the field and a potential Dark Rift on like an incoming creep wave top, especially for example, might ruin their ranks if they lose a team fight. But it's definitely more favorable going for the fight, as you said, in the on the enemy side of the map, especially with a sniper. He benefits from being having a lot of space to back up to.
So things will stagnate for the next little bit as no major objective to be obtained. But now a smoke up, a little bit of an influx of gold, as you mentioned, for the Spirit side in that last fight, and looking ready to fight now. 10-second BKB on Illidan. Yeah,
there was not a single not even a 3k gold lead for anyone in the entire game.
The prize is mine.
I feel renewed.
FNG at the front, smoked up, looking for a glimpse, but unable to find it.
The problem with the game sense. Or more like, I need man, I go back. Little did he know, if he sticked around, he would have been so happy.
Ags up for the Chen, just very safely pushing this top lane with the Ancient Black Dragon. But it looks like he will lose that shortly.
Too much physical damage at this point. Also, Crystallize going for that. Could have found the glimpse if I got some vision, but he's also going for the butterfly next to Mirana, which is another problem for the PL, because PL is one of the last series you want to go for an MKB on. You rely on spreading your damage out on everybody, or like amplifying your lesions so they don't die. So you want to reach that hard, you want to reach the butterfly yourself. But getting pressured into a potential MKB, that's not the way to go, especially because they lack so much magic damage in their team.
Crystallize has done a very respectable job keeping up in farm. This game 6-2 and 7 on his Marana and has been playing kind of the aggressive sides of the map. General going to shove in the bottom lane, force a reaction out from Spirit, and looks like Dendi will attend to this mid lane where TP's on the shrine from Illidan.
Good call. Oh, does he have vision? I don't think so. Nope, just cutting it. Yeah, both teams just sitting back. We're gonna farm a sniper, we're gonna farm a PL, we don't care about any ganks right now. Then we're gonna see an occasional smoke gank from either side, just trying to find somebody, and I think that's where like the next game win condition, if not the next objective will come into play. So once that ratio is actually up, which might still take a bit, it's probably gonna be a fast respawn again. I feel like no team wants to make a move without any Aegis.
Yeah, very close to the butterfly is crystallized as well. Just looking to complete that up.
So, Shiva is about to finish up on the Underlord, only 400 gold away. Oh, 400, if not 500 gold. He also picked up a gem for themselves, or maybe either actually. And has a lot of levels to work with, so actually, in terms of experience, he's only level 22 on an Underlord. That's unexpected. But yeah, he's also not the best hero to have levels on because you really don't benefit as much. Your talents are not that crazy later on. Yes, the Firestone building damage is pretty nice, the Rudis as well, but it's not going to be an impact against a sniper that you can't even reach.
General pushing in bottom. And both teams kind of playing on the opposite sides of the map. This juncture in the game, no one really tending to top just yet, at least alone, and similarly to bottom for Spirit. Mid lane, Illidan under the cover of his Silver Edge. Gonna find, a great target here in the sniper. Moonlight Shadow goes out. They will be able to force back Dendi. BKB popped now by Spirit, but Crystallize a little bit out of position. He's gonna be forced to BKB to avoid the glimpse. And so they'll essentially trade BKBs 1-for-1, Dendi, with the Assassinate onto G, but a little bit too healthy for them to pursue forward and a little bit far away as well. General thinking of wrapping around the east side. Shrine is going to be popped by NaVi, and it looks like maybe undetected they've made their way up to the shrine here. Double damaging bottom as well.
Oh, that's huge if they manage to drop that, especially if Illidan runs into them.
Illidan gonna look to find the sniper. They'll try and glimpse him back, but Illidan in trouble. They force out of the Static Storm. Arrow connects, and they'll get the PL. Illidan just a little bit too quick for his teammates, and now they will be able to find DK Phobos. He's instantly gonna charge up the Dark Rift, but he is gonna shatter before he can get it off. Now Biver forcing forward, trying to save his Underlord, is also gonna be taken out, and Roshan still a minute and 40 to spawn, so they won't be able to take that, but they've got 50 seconds. Yeah, no buybacks on any of these heroes. Lil gonna get the lift off, but we'll get Glimpse back, and we'll be able to at least steal the Glimpse.
Pretty sure they're gonna scout out. There's no buyback, and Roshan is not up. It's a long spawn, still a minute to go. But I know, I feel like they should just run down mid and at least take it to. Yeah, he's drawing it on the map. I would agree with General here. You need to accomplish something. You just killed one, if not two, of the Team Spirit cores without losing anything, not even committing all your ultimates. You still have an epicenter to work with. You still have an Ice Blast up and running. You even have the Mirano ult. Basically, have all of the ultimates up. Yeah. Why not just capitalize on it? Instead, they were relying on duration, which spawns in like 1 minute, and by then, Team Spirit is going to regain their strength and have everything up again.
Yeah, looks like they really won't get much done with that team fight win. It'll just be a win for the sake of a win. Radiant gonna scan the high ground and will be weary to the position of at least some of the Navi heroes. FNG gonna try and make the wrap around here. Lil is gonna be the first to be caught. Static Storm will be there. Yule's up into the air. Assassinate will be onto FNG. Glimmer Cape will not keep the Rubik alive. Arrow actually connects onto the real PL, but Crystallize forced to back away as well. Boots of Travel are available for General, but they know the Roshan's going to spawn soon, and so they're hanging around in this area. General going to be glimpsed back, forced up to the high ground. Nearby is Dendi. Arrow, it does connect onto the PL. Well, I don't know if it did, but the knockback distance was there from the headshot either way. And they get a major kill.
Weird.
Now G in trouble. Crystallize starting to put some right clicks into him. Aeon Disc will keep him alive for now. But the Roshan is spawned. No PL available. Crystallize does have the arrow. And him and Dendi will begin to get to work as General, shoves out the mid lane.
Yeah, I think this is the best setup they can have from NaVi. They only lost to Rubik. There's no PL in the fight, so where's the damage output after the exorcism? That's the only thing they have to work with the on-team spirit. They have a disrupt ult and they have an exorcism. Everything else is just basically, yeah, NaVi's gonna melt through the rest like butter.
30 seconds until Illidan's PL is back. General gonna hit a 3-man burrow. Ice Blast will not really connect, but they bring down the Disruptor immediately. General gonna be able to make it back into his Yules. G in trouble. Jumping forward is Crystallized, looking for the right clicks, not gonna be able to get him. Lift up into the air onto the Underlord, and Burrow Strike will not connect as he is able to bring back his Chen. But that's gonna open up the Roshan, and even just this 8 seconds with no PL should be enough time for NaVi to make quick work of the Roche. And they'll do just that. Bringing it down, it'll be Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher Shard on the deck for their side. And they will be able to blink out on Lil, who gets Refresher and Cheese.
Yeah, and that's even more for win because there's no exorcism for Team Spirit to work with. So NaVi completely, yeah, like they dominated that fight. They haven't lost a single thing. Now they're 12k gold ahead, and that was without any high ground being taken on either side. Usually you see those kind of gold leads either when one side is stomping or you break the high ground early on, but that's just NaVi out-farming Team Spirit with the sniper just constantly sitting everybody on the map, just taking last hits. Same with the Mirana and just finding those kills on the PL. PL just died 2 times within like 1 minute. Like he respawned, he TP'd into the fight and immediately got arrowed and died.
Beautiful Burrow Strike as well from General, just kind of putting Spirit in a panic, forcing the Dark Rift out, forcing G to run away. They get the instant gib on the Disruptor under the Ice Blast, and that just kind of throws chaos into the fight. But yeah, as you mentioned, Illidan dying twice, certainly super costly there, and NaVi with a very strong foothold in this game now.
I'm gonna try for a smoker pretty soon, I would imagine. They want to utilize this DD room maybe, or even just go out and use the Chen creeps, but constant arrow spam on this side of the map. They can't even go for anything yet. Their lanes are getting pushed in, both on the bottom lane, on the top lane. They have to push that out first, and by then it will be entirely obvious. And instead, NaVi is going for the smoke. Are they?
Was on cooldown, yeah.
There we go. Don't make me look like an idiot.
Backpack cooldown there for the AA, but they'll make the rotation up towards a very key target in Illidan's PL on the low ground. And General with a little bit of cold feet there is going to blink away. Illidan looks like he'll be able to make it away. They're fighting around this shrine here. Static Storm doesn't really catch onto anyone. Chilling Effect will be onto a couple of heroes, but Crystallize is completely in the front lines, tanking all this damage with his Aegis. General now in the corner is going to be able to Yules himself up. Static Storm is there onto the respawning Crystallized Mirana. General forced to jump out to the east, but from the high ground, Dendi still right-clicking away is going to get down the PL and the Underlord, and now G, out by his lonesome, is going to be Yulesed up. And we've seen this time and time again. When you leave a sniper unchecked, you can kill the rest of his lineup, but he will make you pay. And Crystallize doing what he's done all game and essentially soaking all the focus of NaVi. Does lose his Aegis and his life, but they'll force at least a couple of buybacks here from Team Spirit.
Yeah, but the issue is you have nobody to jump on the sniper now, so then he's just gonna take this TC time whenever he has any vision. He still has one shrapnel charge in about 5 seconds. Also, General is diving the 4 towers for some reason, but yeah, sure. By my time, I'm gonna get a tower.
Yeah, he has a heart, so doesn't really cost him much to take this harass. He'll just regen up with the Heart of Tarask, and they will take out the Tier 3. Then they're going to plink away as well at this melee Rax, and opting not to buy back on G. He doesn't have Exorcism anyway, so it wouldn't really be too much of a threat if they had bought him back. And as you mentioned, you know, isn't the hero to be jumping on the sniper here. So they will just concede this mid lane of Rax at the very least.
Yeah. Plus, it's funny. In the last fight, you could see Dendi just slowly walk into the high ground, and then it felt like he attack moved on the ground in front of him, and then he just took the hands off the keyboard and just got 4 kills. Like, he was in the perfect position. Like, he was sitting on the high ground over here. He could hit 5 heroes in the fight, and they were all trapped in, like, this kind of pit area. Where nobody could get off the sides due to Samson just running around, and that was just so well executed, soaking the focus by Crystallize.
Yeah, Dundee pretty much retired in this game. Just taking his hands off the keyboard, and now assuming by a large margin the top of the net worth. And you know, his start, as we alluded to a few times, was a rather abysmal one. But now with BKB and Cheese in hand and 7,500 gold, has the pick of the litter as far as what he wants to go into item-wise. So just get rid of that
Mom.
Mom.
Gonna buy up a Satanic. Who needs any gold? Like, I don't know. I'm gonna buy myself a Satanic. I still have buyback, and maybe I throw something else on top of it just for the fun of it. Yeah, Satanic will come out on Crystallize as well on the Mirana. Yeah, best pick in this game because they really just rely on if PL hits you up, you have so many targets in the fight, so you will always find somebody. So you pop BKB, you pop Satanic, and you're instantly full health again, and PL can't hit you anymore.
Yeah, Outlast the Exorcism seems like a good plan too. They have very little damage outside of that with, you know, the kind of peculiar item build from the PL, and just outlasting them in these fights has certainly boded well for them. They also have the E-Blade up on General. He is just farmed out of his mind on the second game in this one.
They're gonna set up for bottom now. Now they have the added benefit of General has that hard, as you mentioned. As well as the E-Blade, yeah. He's just gonna sit on front, in the front, and they're just gonna let Dundee hit stuff. That's what Sniper's good at. Sniper's gonna hit some stuff. He also took the 125 attack range on the Sniper.
Yeah.
So no shrapnel charges, but he has, just look at his attack range. Fun hero, right?
Yeah, one side of the screen to the other.
There. Wouldn't be a shame if something happens to it.
No big deal. Takes out the tier 3 without a whimper from the enemy. Aeon Disc going to be popped onto G. General going to go in with the Burrow Strike. Double Shivas are popped from both sides. E-Blade going to keep him safe. He will get glimpsed back, however, into the Static Storm. He's going to be able to Yules himself up. Ice Blast going to fly through. Connect onto 3, though. And Dendi just plinking away at DK Phobos. They now Burrow Strike up. The Underlord lift him into the air. Hand of God. Not sure it's enough to save him. The send back for now will keep him alive. And Dendi will begin to right-click into the racks. Nothing really of major value expended from NaVi. The Ice Blast will be available again in 15 seconds. And now Epicenter, well, flying through on the north side is going to force G to pop the BKB. General going to be glimpsed back. Yules up into the air as the cores work on the PL bottom lane. Illidan, a couple of leaps forward on Crystallize and gets the right clicks in time. And Dendi still surviving in the backline. Crystallize gets the Cheese off in time as well. And General just playing out of his mind in this late game with these Burrow Strikes. Buyback comes out on Chen, but it seems like a little bit too late for Spirit as their PL down for 60 seconds without a whimper. And G is going to be burrowed up. Second lane of Rack's going to be taken out here, and now going to Yules himself up into the air on the DP. Gets sent back, but
2 lines of Rack stun. NaVi's kind of back out of this. The only objective left is the top lane. They won't even need a Roshan for the next fight, I imagine. Still have... somebody used the Treasure Shard? Not sure. It's not in no inventory, so somebody must have it.
Yeah, double gems up on the AA. Triple gem, in fact.
Yeah, triple gem. They have a little gem collection. They're really rich.
So, yeah, the game is immensely difficult, to put it lightly, for Spirit at this point, and NaVi in a very comfortable position to secure their spot in the grand final of this qualifier. 5,500 gold on General. Dendi, a lot of building kills to his name as well. Can at least pick up a Moon Shard here, but probably will not forego buyback just to be safe.
I wanna point out that Crystallize hit a triple arrow in the last fight, and it was amazing. He did not only stun one person, he stunned 3 persons with one cast. Great.
The dream.
Yeah, little shotgun arrows.
No, never really.
It was only a half a second stun, but it's a stun. It counts.
General gonna clean up the top lane, and desperation time for Team Spirit as they make a smoke over towards their shrine. Will be taken out. Illidan gonna jump forward onto Crystallize. Crystallize holding the BKB for now, will end up popping it, as does Illidan. And Dendi gonna try and get some distance now, but G really jumping forward onto him. Force Staff will not bring him to the high ground, but he does get placed under invisibility by the Moonlight Shadow. Still though, Dendi in a lot of trouble here. Yule's up into the air, and they will be able to take out the sniper. Now General gonna fly through with the epicenter. Arrow does connect onto DK Phobos. They'll buy back on Dendi and look to end the game here as he'll begin to right click away. General still very healthy here. Will E-Blade himself, but forced back. He's actually gonna be brought down, and now the canceled TP from the AA. Dendi gonna be glimpsed back, it seems, as he TP'd back in off buyback. And now G pressing forward. Crystallized though, forced up, but glimpsed back again. And this Disruptor paying dividends in the ultra late game for Spirit.
Look at the map.
Yeah.
There's no creeps anywhere for Team Spirit to be fine. They have to completely back off of this. I'm not sure if Dendi did even need to buy back here.
Yeah.
They're going for Rage instead, but phenomenal Ice Blast sitting on 3, so they can't even go for the pitch for the next few seconds.
General gonna buy back here, and likely this will put a halt to the Roche attempt from Team Spirit. So they will get their team fight win, but Navi will secure the Roche and likely the game thereafter. Still though, signs of life, I suppose. Look at the buyback status overall. G really the only important hero with a buyback available at this point, and the Underlord soon to have one available as well. But double life in the hands of Crystallize. They do have the cheese as well, and Refresher Shard going to go towards the Mirana.
Haste.
Yeah, I was informed the last Refresher Shard was actually used with a Stolen Static Storm, which makes it even more impressive.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like Navi has all the tools in the world to end this game right now.
Yep.
They just have to take it. There's no exorcism for a minute. So the only thing you have to deal with would be PL illusions, which is a hard task to deal with, but should be. Yeah, good job, LeBron.
That good old can't miss on the wards. Gotta love that change.
I love that it changed, and yeah, it was a frustrating missing the ward all over again. Just, I don't know, you're playing mid lineup, there's like a ward on each side, and you have the advantage already. You need 2 hits, enemy needs 4, and then you just miss 3 times in a row.
Rip. Arrow gonna fly out. Firestorm comes down from DK Phobos, but this tier 3 just melting to Dendi as soon as he has the vision. Crimson Guard gonna be popped up on DK Phobos.
It's a great item against Sniper.
Next wave inbound shortly for Navi.
They're doing a good job pushing out the side in some Team Spirit, so it's pretty much only the top lane that is to their concern right now.
Arrows will fly. Split the wickets. No one going to be caught. Dendi again starting to put some pressure into the tier 3, and it seems like it's only a matter of time before that's down. General sitting up on the high ground looking for an opening. Illidan goes under the cover and looking for the glimpse. They are going to force out the BKB on Dendi.
It's actually huge. I think they have to back off and wait for it now. Yeah. If he gets caught there with a glimpse, he has to use the BKB. That's the downside, because you can't afford your sniper to be remotely close to the PL. He simply does not have the tools to bail out of the fight. He has a Mask of Madness and a Hurricane Pike. That is about it. And certainly the Mask of Madness, you don't want to pop that if you're standing in front of 15 PL illusions as well as the entire enemy team. So whenever there's like a glimpse going on, they have to just commit to the BKB and back off. I feel like Team Spirit is gonna continue doing that whenever there's a push coming in. Just try force one of the BKB side, even on Crystallize. If one of the BKBs goes in cooldown, you're looking at a big disadvantage in the fight. It's not that they need the continuously the immunity in the fight, but they really rely on having that one pop on the magic immunity, so they can dodge a glimpse, so they can dodge like the Youth Scepter coming in from the Death Prophet, so they don't get disabled in the fight.
Well, game-ending rune on Dendi right now, but no real major sense of urgency from Navi.
Good shot there.
Yeah,
he's stacked. He only needs Travels and he's done for.
Yeah, picks up the full butterfly here. finally replacing the Mask of Madness 55 minutes in. Static Storm gonna actually fly out, and the arrow does connect onto DK Phobos' Underlord. Shrapnel gonna fly out, they'll lift him up, but he'll be forced back.
This tower is gonna take damage. Down to 300 health. That's like 5-6 hits from a sniper, and then it should be done for. But still, it's a slow and painful death right now, and I feel like Spirit needs to do something like a wraparound outside the base. But how do you set that up if your lanes are constantly pushing in? Your PL has to show in the front.
E-Blade onto the PL, gonna force out the Doppelganger. Now G pops the Exorcism, gets a couple of men silence off, and now forced back onto Dendy. He's trying to get distance here. PL up in his face. Ice Blast will connect though onto the PL. Doppelganger is there. Illidan gonna completely turn and run from this fight. Moonlight Shadow is gonna be there onto Dendy, but he's slowed up, and the Shivas is there. Dendy in trouble, gets glimmered for a moment, will be brought down, but the Epicenter finds a return kill onto the Underlord, and the Chen G though pressing forward for more. Has his BKB expired. Crystallize gonna lose the Aegis for now, and LeBron gonna force himself away to, well, momentary safety as he's taken out. Arrow's gonna fly out, connects onto G, but they can't really press forward onto him. Lil gonna use the Refresher Shard and make it away. Had the stolen Exorcism for a moment, but just couldn't survive.
Still has it. Yeah.
Up against the PL.
It's kind of scary looking at Team Spirit, how they initiated. It was practically just a death drop with popping Exorcism in range and just walking down the high ground, pressing Shiva's Guard, and they had a perfect initiation. And just shows that maybe it's not a way too slow pitch. Maybe Navi really needs to find a pickoff instead. But they're gonna run down the mid lane. Little Stone Exorcism will come in handy in this fight. That should nice stuff. That should be enough to actually defend, or at least delay until Sniper is up, because then he has no buyback. He's down for the count for 1 minute.
Yep.
So, also no Epicenter for 30, as the Stone Exorcism.
Lil isolated though. Yule Scepter is there. Arrow gonna fly, not gonna connect onto anyone. General's nearby, gets the E-Blade off onto Lil, but still, he's gonna end up dropping. No buyback for the Rubik. Navi in a little bit of trouble here. 20 seconds until they get their AA back. 45 until Dendy is up. And Spirit should be well aware that these buybacks are not available at this point. Arrow hits onto Creep, gonna get soaked up. Melee Rack's gonna be taken out. Tier 4s though, beginning to be pressured here by the dire Creeps. And we'll see.
They probably want to clear off the Tier 3 top and then just Uber back into the base. Because they really have to. Already using the Fortify. That's a lot of range creeps.
Arrow will hit onto an illusion. Ice Blast gonna fly through. Gonna be dodged out completely by the Spirit lineup. Jump forward, Epicenter, E-Blade. Gonna try and take out the Disruptor. They will be able to get him. Burrow Strike will be there. They try and force him away. Illidan, he's been isolated out and he's left for dead. As a beautiful Force Staff play from General is gonna bring the PL back into risk, but he does have a buyback. Tier 4s, however, whittled down considerably. And remember, regen removed from those. So, unhealable damage done by the Creeps. And now Navi back to full strength shortly.
That was... I know, that was such a good Force Staff. I was so sure he actually still catches him. They even tried it first on the ally, just stunning him when the allies were out of range, because it kind of works against you a little bit that it's only 4 seconds on the teleport delay. And just managed to get the PL out of everyone. Like, everybody else would have been fine, but they managed to get the PL after all. They can't really pressure into a buyback, which is, I guess, that's the saving grace for Team Spirit right now, that they don't force out the buyback from the PL, puts them in a still good position in the game. They almost evened out in terms of Raxes. There's still a TG for Navi, however, so the next attempt that ends like in a total disaster for one side of the team either goes for the Ancient on the side of Team Spirit, or for Navi. So I doubt we're gonna see like a prolonged game anymore. Like, Navi's gonna set up for one last time, I would say, for the top ranks, and then we're gonna see the conclusion. And interesting.
Yeah, General gonna jump forward. Ice Blast gonna fly through the DP and Underlord. Neither of them will cop the chilling effect.
And but this time they don't have to go to initiation. There's 2 exorcisms with the refresher. Yeah, that's like 1 exorcism down for the kind for practically nothing. And the next version will not come up for a while. Alright, or it is. Never mind. Up in 10 seconds.
Yeah, this should favor Navi as they have a good amount of vision near the Radiant base. Illidan gonna make his way out of base with his Silver Edge. But not gonna...
I think the 1 iron mark as well. I don't know, I still feel like... Maybe there's something I really miss with the Silver Edge, but I feel like if he did not upgrade it so far, he would have a heart by now. He would have practically anything else, but a heart might not be the most practical item against an AA. It's still health for your illusions. It could also be like a butterfly for more damage. It just really feels like the Silver Edge is really not useful in any way, because you have a death profit to initiate on the low grind, and it's only like that one little break you can apply to the sniper, and that is about it.
General gonna complete up a Dagon 4 here on top of his E-Blade, so we saw how quickly he was able to bring the Disruptor down in the last fight. It'll be even more hasty if he can find the opening.
Yeah.
Buybacks...
Especially with the +4 pulses.
Yeah, buybacks
So
are
much magic damage.
available on pretty much everyone aside from the Underlord and Disruptor, as far as cores go. PL, DP, Sniper, Sand King, Mirana all have it available.
Pretty sure they want to go for Roach themselves, but they're gonna scout it out.
TPing onto the Wild Wing is DK Phobos. He'll catch an arrow though. Epicenter gonna fly through as well. Ice Blast is there. He's a bit isolated out as Phobos, but gets the Force Staff up to the high ground. Dendy now in trouble as G and Illidan look to pursue him. Lil with the TPing out gets Dendy back to base, but now he's left the rest of his lineup here as Crystallize gonna be glimpsed back into his death and right in front of the Roche pit.
Instant buyback, yeah.
Yeah, Lil tries to TP in towards the bottom lane, in fact. And now walking back towards the mid as Aegis is going to be secured by the PL. TPing back to base is the Disruptor. Dendy takes out a tier 4 and does about 50% of the HP of the second one, but...
No, actually did not take it out. He did like 2 shots on the tile, almost done by creeps earlier, but still, it felt like a right play if the fight continued during the Rage Pit, but since Ration was in so late, practically they annihilated it with the Exorcism coming out. Yeah. So that's a big win for Team Spirit. We're down to 10k lead only.
Cheese Refresher Shard on G as well. It's Refresher Inception right now.
Triple Exorcism seems good.
Not to mention the BKB as well.
Yeah, and the Yondisk up in there. Like, he has so much protection with the Yondisk added to that. He can't get caught off guard by the Sand King, so they have to really deal damage on him. So he's gonna deal an insane amount of damage in team fight. However, who else is good at dealing a massive amount of damage in team fight? It's probably the Sniper, so it comes down to who's the last man standing in these fights.
63 minutes in CIS Dota, we haven't seen a Rapier. 6,400 gold.
The game is still, in terms of kills, it's still so even. NaVi has the gigantic lead from early and just farming up the map. But General, you don't want to be here. They're hesitant. I don't know if there's anyone else here.
He's gonna get glimpsed back into a Static Storm and he'll be taken out. He does have buyback available. Under 15 seconds on the sideline. Illidan trying to be scouted out top with the Ice Blast, but he's going to make it back to safety as soon as his team goes on the Sand King. Does extricate himself from any risk in the bottom lane.
Yeah, we're almost at that level 25 for the Chen. How often do you see level 25 Chen in your games?
Not very often at all.
We're looking at either plus 400 Hound of Gold heal or plus 4 units with their Holy Persuasion.
Coin.
Both is pretty useless in this game. I mean, the heal is nice. He's probably gonna go for the heal because the creeps died to sniper in like 1 hit. But how often? Like level 25. We had 65 minutes. I think the average is like what? 31 minutes in terms of pro games? Something like that in Dispatch.
Only 22 on the AA. Perhaps that extra 4% on the threshold could have been a major tool.
The AoE cold feed. Think about it. Think about it. Burst Strike into AoE cold feed. What are you gonna do? You're just gonna tab out.
That's this game.
That's the combination here. This is where Darkseer gets enabled into the meta. You know, you had a Darkseer up there with the vacuum, reworked, a little bit buffed. And then you get your level 25 on the AA for the one more combo. the discount ravage.
Illidan gonna take out the bottom tier 2. Aegis in hand. Feeling just fine to do this. And he's gonna be accompanied by his team shortly.
Yeah, just gonna take out another shrine. They want to eliminate those TP points. With this one taken out already, there's no longer any TP points for NaVi, which we've seen utilized before on the race fights by general on the Sand King.
Feigning the Dark Rift on the shrine was Lil, but certainly not going to make that play at this juncture in the game.
Trying to force BKBs.
Yeah,
that would have been such a nice play.
I think full butterfly. No, purchased up, yeah, by the PL. He backpacks the treads while he still has this Aegis.
Yeah, and still has the buyback as well, so yeah, it's like, you don't want to get, at 60, almost 70 minutes, you don't want to get caught up with no buybacks, so. But they're looking to push out the top tower.
Oh, General, oh.
That was like 1 if not 2 units to the right side, and FNG would have just caught them off guard.
Yep.
With the vision from the camping field. And was really lucky.
Almost looked like he had it, but apparently not. And General does make it back to base safely.
Yeah, also 2 MKBs about to finish up on NaVi, both on Dandy and Crystallize. So both their physical damage here carries will have that MKB against the butterfly already. Just, and I feel so bad for him. Like, he's doing his best on the PL with the farm he has available, but he just, I don't know, whatever he buys, there's like instant 2 counters on NaVi because they have so much money left over. Even though it's only a 4k lead at this point.
That's if Crystallize can ever get to the side shop. Secret shop, I should say, but Dendy does have his Hyperstone on his person already, so definitely can complete up that MKB.
We have the 900 heal on Hand of God now, so that's something to look out for.
4,000 gold on the FNG Disruptor as well, so he can complete up the Ags if he foregoes buyback.
He's not lowest on it, though. I was looking at it. It's the AA, but yeah, supports are suffering in this game, but having the Aghanim's would actually be a huge deal against the Mirana or the Sniper. You're looking like, if you get any glimpse of on Dendy, on the Sniper, he has to pop the BKB, otherwise he's gonna get static stomped up and then they just lose the fight straight up.
Haste.
Nearing the 70-minute mark in this best of 3. Winner does move on to the grand finals of the qualifiers.
Going for a long run. Nobody wants to commit. I still want to see an evened out game at 60-70 minutes where both sides just have mega creeps. Might see it this game.
1k lead right now, 68 minutes in.
Yeah,
Incredible.
we were at 30 like 10 minutes ago, or like 15 minutes ago.
The NaVi memes will be rich in the chat.
Well, memes are always great.
Following NaVi particularly. Net
Do you
worth
have any
lead.
specific meme in mind?
Well, net worth lead is just a number, right?
Yeah,
Dendy
completely.
fits. NaVi General setting up on the east side. And Exorcism will be popped by G. He does have 2 ways to refresh this. And a cheese in hand as well.
Stolen again.
Arrow does
Double
connect.
bullseye?
Oh, Epicenter coming out, and they are going to find the Disruptor on the east, blow him up instantly. G going to pop the BKB, jump forward with the stolen Exorcism from Lil. He's going to be thrown up into the air, but they have enough to keep him protected, and now they will pursue forward. Silence ending for General. He's under the cover of invisibility, finds a Burrow Strike onto the Underlord. Penitence will be there onto the Sand King, and now a BKB pop from Illidan. He'll fly in and shred the AA, but the PL in trouble as well as his BKB expires. Hand of God going to come through. E-Blade defensively used onto General. He will Burrow Strike up the Underlord, but will pay for his sins as he goes down. 95 seconds on the sidelines for the SK, who does have a buyback. A little bit low on mana is the DP for G, but does have a Refresher Shard.
And the cheese as well, so might as well just pop that just to get the extra access in light. And we're backing off. Seems like we're backing off again.
Arrow going to be dodged slightly by DK Phobos. All the lanes in a really good position for Spirit right now, so...
Yeah, even the top lane. Like, the top lane is their saving grace because they have the melee creeps when NaVi does not. Alright, bottom didn't work. Let's shift to top. Let's try the same stuff all over there.
NaVi keen to this movement. General looking for the long range. Bro is going to get hexed up instantly. He gets Force Staffed out of the Static Storm, though. And they at least force out the Static Storm. Root is going to catch on, too. Silence will be there. Force defensive Yules onto the Rubik. Ice Blast going to fly through. Chilling Effect will connect onto a few. Illidan actually in trouble if they can find him, but he will be able to make it out. DK Phobos taking a ton of damage. Is going to drop on the Underlord. Does have buyback available. Illidan is going to survive through the Chilling Effect. So they will force out the Lil buyback, but 120 seconds.
Almost died.
Yeah.
If this AA would have been 25, they would have won the game, just saying. That's the 2 levels that they were missing with the 4% on the Ice Blast. Kill threshold. Illidan would have gotten down on the PL.
Roche is up, however, fortunately for NaVi, perhaps. They can look to make an attempt on his life. Underlord is going to buy back for this, however. It feels like even if they take the Roche, they would have forced it out anyways, so...
Yeah, pretty much. So this is just prematurely. Like, we're probably going to see either like a Rage fight or both teams just sitting on one side of the Rage and not going into the pit. Or we're going to see one Rage fight from one team and then the other team just sitting it out once more. It just really feels like this is a game of pickoffs. We need like... It almost feels like they need a smoke gang with like a sheep stick in front. The problem is, for NaVi, NaVi's biggest problem is they can't get rid of the Death Prophet that easily because of that Eon Disc. He is always going to be able to pop his BKB in the fight.
Biggest problem for Spirit right now seems to be this bottom lane of creeps. Meanwhile, mid lane, they are going to go in. Assassinate is going to take out the Underlord, who had bought back. G up in the front lines. Crystallize going to be glimpsed back into the Static Storm. He's taking a ton of damage and will be brought down instantly. Buys back. Hand of God is going to be there. General going to pursue forward with a 2-man Burrow Strike. Looks like FNG in trouble. Is going to be forced back to safety. Lil cannot take him out as he's sent back by Chen, and General does go down. Yule Scepter up onto Lil, but he's isolated in front of G. Shiva's Guard will take out the Rubik. Meanwhile, on the north side, it looks like they were able to get the PL down. Dendi, Hurricane Pike up onto G. He's going to be hexed up, however. Biver jumping forward with his Death Prophet. Dendi in trouble here. And it looks like he will end up dropping Ancient Creep from the Biver. Oh, he has BKB! And he takes out G. Glimpse is going to be there from FNG. He'll turn and kill off the Disruptor. Ultra kill for Dendi. And that's a dieback. Ice Blast going to fly out. Illidan is there, however, and will get Dendi. He has a buyback available, though.
I return to the flock.
Yeah, but the T4 faults. So Ancient is completely exposed now for Team Spirit.
Returns.
What a fight again. Just... It felt again like they did everything right. Then he was just sitting there and clicking people. Right-clicking on people. That's what he did. And occasionally pressed the BKB once it's up. Even having excellent timing on it.
One button hero at this point in the game. This Hex from Biver doing work, but perhaps even just baiting G in at the end. 2v1 there against the Sniper, and Dendi more than able to stand his ground. So all the buybacks that were available expended. Both heroes sitting, both teams sitting on 3 heroes at this point. 2 cores and a support. 2 major cores, that is.
Yeah. Nobody has buyback in this entire game. Everybody has at least 3 minutes on it, 6 minutes on the course. So nobody is confident going for anything. So this might be Rage being the deciding factor at this point.
Ice Blast gonna fly. G looking to dodge it. Illidan will get caught, and G actually as well. Can they get there in time, though? It doesn't look like they'll be able to close the distance. Scan is gonna be there. Aeon Disc pop by G. Shrapnel coming through now. And it looks like they will end up backing out. TP inbound mid lane. Jump forward. General gonna find the Burrow Strike. Illidan pops his BKB, but the Ghost Scepter is there for the AA to keep him up for now. Crypt Swarm finishes him off. General over on the west side trying to extract himself from any further danger. He gets the feud up and will be able to burrow to the high ground. Meanwhile, they've TP'd back the Disruptor to defend, but they will be able to take out the Roche. Does Team Spirit.
And because of the second exorcism, but there is a refresher shot up, so they have another exorcism for that push in the base.
I feel like this is like the 6th Roche of the game at this point. Like
5 or 6. I'm pretty sure it's the 5th one, but we're approaching the 80-minute mark, so...
In any case.
Well, I really hope we're not missing Empire vs Vega here, because I really want to see that match. Please end soon.
I feel like we're casting it, so should be just fine to. But they must have been in lobby at this point for 25 minutes, so.
Yeah. Oh, that one hero creep forcing the TP back from FNG.
Ancient still very healthy, although exposed for Team Spirit.
Yeah, and we've seen already what Denny does with exposed buildings in this game. He's sitting on high grounds and hitting them. Rapier up on Dendy, by the way.
About damn time.
Oh, I just say 80 minutes, finally. Anyone else queued it up? Nope. Piece of bait and blade in backpack for the PL.
Yeah, he has no real
Sheepstick finally coming out. Ah yes, the usual 80-minute sheepstick timing on the Death Prophet, my favorite.
Yeah. Hard to argue for an item for her to get rid of. I suppose you just backpack the travels as you march up high ground, but
I wouldn't even argue about the refresher, but
that too. And most heroes feel pretty much capped out. I mean, Illidan has been a little bit behind his peers as far as relative farm goes, so he can still use a Moon Shard, but we'll see what kind of work the Rapier ends up doing for NaVi. For now, Team Spirit can ensure that all 3 of their lanes are in a favorable position before they make any move towards endgame.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody's just waiting on the buyback right now. We have still not a single one up. First one will be FNG if he manages to scrap together 200 gold. Yeah, the legendary Disruptor buyback, winning the game. We have the support on 25 yet? Nope. Well, LeBron's still struggling with the 25. FNG struggling with the 24, almost has it though. I want to see my AAE cold feed. Give me a show. Come on.
I don't think we're gonna see the 900.
I would be so happy if he actually picks it up. I mean, think about it. You build like an easel lens, and then you have like the range, and you force out BKBs because you took that talent.
Or they just run it off. I mean, yeah.
He already got sacrificed so much. Like he was forced into buying like a Vladimir's offering and not going for items. He has a Ghost Scepter and the Force stuff. Items you usually do not want on your AA.
You gotta let him go for the cold feet at that point.
Yeah. Also, arcane boots. Give Connor some slack. Let him have some fun.
Hey, he's gonna be picked up by Lil.
Haste.
Lil does not have buyback, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
That
so
should help.
Nobody has buyback.
pretty deep. General and the Disruptor are the only ones at this point.
Alright, yeah. So the least important people of the buyback, because that can just...
More or less.
Yeah. I stun your creep wave and then I buy back. And Mr. I can disable your items, but only if you don't one-shot me before the fight. So it's probably gonna end up just general jumping on FNG. They both kill each other and both buy back, and then they just continue with the fight.
Illidan gonna attend bottom lane where things are a bit out of place for Spirit. NaVi can't really find an opening though, as they're playing entirely blind.
Yeah, 80 minutes still can't find an opening. That's a bit sad. But yeah, what do you do? On one hand, there's a sniper sitting on high ground. We talked about it. I feel like almost an hour ago, where sniper just sits in the middle of 4 people and you can't hit him or can't reach him at all. And on the side of Spirit, you have a Death Prophet who you can't initiate on, especially with like neither 2 refreshers essentially, as well as having the Sheepstick. Like it's like a discount Tinker you have right now, with the difference that you can't really kill her. Triple Sheepstick. Sweet.
Plus you've got the one from the Chen. Arrow is going to connect onto the PL. He has an Aegis. And now General going to find the Disruptor in the backlines. Doppelganger is there, though, for Illidan. And Hand of God is there as well. Even FNG rather tanky at this point.
Just imagine that he just ran out while he was getting lifted and dies. So, no Aegis anymore. Another farming Aegis. Have we seen any Aegis actually procced in the fight so far? I think there was one.
Yeah, early on
crystallized in the fight. But the last 4 of them? No.
Again, Illidan having to tend to bottom lane. Sitting up on the high ground is Spirit, perhaps baiting this in as they show the PL bottom.
Yeah, 4 people on the high ground in general running around stunning triple waves. That pretty much sums it up.
General does have buyback, but maybe gets glimpsed here. And indeed, Will into the Hex. Penitence is there as well. Lil gonna jump forward, though, maybe looking to defend General, but it looks like he is just left for dead. G gonna pop the BKB. General with a very short-range Burrow Strike, but gets forced back to safety. Crystallize gonna leap out as well. LeBron. He did go for the Cold Feet. My goodness.
Oh yeah, here we go.
I thought I saw that casted on the ground. Oh boy.
Stop laughing about it, it's really good. This is where you just go AA mid every game and reach level 25.
Well, there it is. Wow.
Yeah, it's
easy.
Great. I feel like this is like the 6th, if not the 7th stone exorcism from Lil. I'm pretty sure he casted it more often than a DP in this game. I don't know how he keeps getting it, but he really shouldn't. There should be a Crypt Swarm at one point denying it.
Yeah,
or
I mean...
denying the steal, but... I don't know, it keeps happening.
So many things to do at this point. Shiva's Refresher, Hex. Suppose you just forget to cast that supplementary spell, but...
You know the game is going late when your Chen has a freaking Assault Cuirass. As well as the Sheepstick. Now going for Dagon, because why not? Another Eon Disc on the Underlord. Any other big items we missed? Any second Rapier? Anywhere? Nope. None of them on the PL yet. He could go for one. It's not a 7 killing for Team Spirit. Just look at the graph. Like, where we started, you would not imagine that it goes that way. 82 minutes now, and win probability sitting on 50-50 almost. Alright, you don't have Dota Plus. I forgot.
I'm not a sheep like the rest of you.
Well, you told... To be fair, I flamed somebody for, like, why would I ever buy that and I got it gifted out of spite, so... I'm just gonna pretend I didn't pay for it.
Oh, that's what I need to do then. That's the play right there.
Nice try.
Maybe someone in chat will buy it for me.
Yeah, be nice, Chad. Stay positive. It's like the most ancient meme right now. It's so outdated. Alright, we're getting too deep into memes now. Let's focus on the game because there's so much happening.
Yes, a lot of players with their hands.
Lots of losses, yeah.
One on the keyboard, one in their pants, I'm sure, at this point. And...
It's the most losses, actually. Where is it? 650. There's a lifter on the DP.
Yeah, they are going to try and find G. He does pop off the first exorcism and walks away to the safe arms of his Underlord. Now looking for Crystallize here. And they will be able to find him with the Hex. Crystallize in a lot of trouble, is going to get melted. His buyback is available. Meanwhile, Static Storm connects onto Dendi in the back lines. They're looking to pressure him forward. E-Blade was there from General, but Dendi going to drop as well. He does not have buyback. Rapier on the deck. This could be it for NaVi in the upper bracket. General gets a couple of man Burrow Strike off. They do take out FNG. Illidan in a little bit of trouble, but will be able to back off and reset. G still in the front lines. Lil has a stolen Exorcism, and they buy back on General. Ice Blast Chilling Effect will connect onto DK Phobos. Spirit gonna reset for now, but there is no buyback on Dendi, unbeknownst to them.
Yeah, most importantly, the Rapier stand suddenly 26k gold lead. Wasn't that like even like a second ago?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Well, the Rapier itself is like a what?
Yeah, 12k.
13k switch, so...
Plus the buybacks. But again, the back. Can you please just put your Silvage into your backpack and use your butterfly on your boots? Thank you.
It's that late game invisibility, man. It's like your pubs. It's OP. General gonna be caught top lane. He does not have buyback.
Yeah, he bought back just before that. So he was stunning creep waves again. This time without a buyback.
And this could be just it.
Grim. 50. They still have two T4s and. Yeah, there's a TP from the PL in 3 seconds.
Arrow is going to connect onto the DP. They need to follow this up. Ice Blast will fly through. Does not connect onto G. And he still has BKB available and cheese at this point. They'll make their way towards bottom. Exorcism will expire here. Lift up into the air. Arrow will not connect. Cold Feet will not proc.
Oh, Pit of Malice. That's great, actually.
Those Malices will be thrown out from both sides, though Illidan and G begin to work on the tier 3 here. Doppelganger stolen by Lil kind of puts himself in harm's way and gets the Firestorm down. Arrow gonna fly out, will connect onto DK Phobos again, though. Dendi is finally up in 5 seconds. Illidan, BKB's up, takes out the melee racks. Looking for the Megas here. Ice Blast gonna fly out with the lift, does connect onto Illidan. He's in trouble here. Assassinate, not gonna connect. Send back is there. But he does end up dying in the fountain. G in trouble. He will be able to be taken back by the Underlord Dark Rift. Illidan, though, on the sidelines. The Rapier, however, in the Radiant base because he was sent back. Beautiful play by Biver. And
yeah,
they do secure Megas. Radiant with all 5 buybacks available. And Megas now on their side. So simply seems like they'll just wait out the PL respawn and get back to work.
Yeah. Don't want to play the buyback on that. There's a Roche to take, or poor Roche. He's just getting abused over the course of this game. This is the 7th, the 8th Roche.
Something like that.
I lost count, to be honest. I like to pretend I know which one it is. It should be the 7th one, but I'm not sure at this point. I don't know.
General TPing in mid. Goes for a blink forward, finds a burrow onto 1. He's hexed up instantly. Static Storm is there as well. Could be the beginning of the end for NaVi, as Dendi not really even in position to start fighting. Crystallize does get a right click, some right clicks off and finishes off the Disruptor. They'll buy back the PL here though. Ice Blast finishes off DK Phobos. Again, all the buybacks are available for the Radiant. NaVi looking to extricate themselves from any further danger will leap forward on the Mirana, and they only lose General for this, but a full slew of buybacks utilized by Team Spirit, and they will be able to secure the Roche. G, the only one who doesn't need to expend his buyback, as he does not drop in that fight. But Roche is going to be secured once again, and NaVi, you know, although they try to take the fight with the PL down and it doesn't go entirely poorly, the lanes are still pushed in heavily to their side. They don't do anything like grab a Rapier back, as that was sitting in base.
And top tower is sitting on 2 HP. Nobody ever pushed it. I feel like NaVi lost all the initiative once the late game came overwhelmingly to their favor. Mirana's just not a late game hero anymore. Like, she does a good amount of damage, but you can't kill a DP, neither can you kill a PL. Unless they make like a really big misplay. Same goes with the sniper. You don't have that initiating hero like a Terrorblade who just jumps into people with refraction, or you don't have a Chaos Knight who just uses the ultimate and then just leads somebody. You have two carries that are insanely good at sustaining in a team fight, but you don't really have that burst potential. Once all the BKBs come out, I'm pretty sure at this point Team Spirit should be able to win this, unless they make like a huge blunder.
NaVi certainly gravely concerned at this point.
The good old sub 400 movement speed Silver Edge coming out on Illidan. Who needs boots? It's only 90 minutes.
Someday you'll get over this Silver Edge, I promise. Still diffuser blade in the backpack. He left the Rapier in base as well. Perhaps just in a hurry.
Smart because it is not the best item for PL. You don't really need a Rapier. Like, it's nice to have one if you're ahead, but you don't want to risk giving it back to Sniper. There's some backup Rapier in case he's throw in the base, you know. Just get it on the chin. He has the AC already.
late game dagging up for Ivor as well. He's played very well on the Chen overall as far as his sendbacks go.
Yeah, a little bit too trigger happy early on in the game. But did well afterwards.
Yeah, had that one kind of questionable sendback on the DP where it was a bit of a miscommunication, but other than that, been good. The heal has been useful in the late game as well.
There's also cheese in the ration pit nobody cares about. Just, yeah, backup cheese, I guess.
DD.
I don't know. Who needs cheese at this point anyways? You have one on the DP.
7,200 gold on G as well. Gotta get that moon shard for the extra DP right click, you know.
I mean, he did go for the 50 earlier. So why not? Get the rapier on the DP, make her right click carry. So here's what you do. You swap on your air disc, you get the rapier, you run in, you hit the building once, you back out. You do that for like for 20 minutes and you have 1 T4 down.
You have exorcism haste,
and you might win the game. Yeah, like, just utilize it. BKB with everything. Buy Lotus Orb so you can't get sheep sticked up. Just make 1 hit on the tower and then just a drive-by with the DP and then just back out again.
Yeah, you can totally just pop Exorcism, get rid of the Boots of Travel and buy a Lincoln's or something like that. Not the worst idea, honestly. Just a lot of creep hitting at this point.
FNG's just on courier sniping duty. They're microing the courier so well. They're looking for to buy a rapier, probably? I don't even know what they're doing.
Only 5,300 gold on the sniper. They're making their way over.
I think it's the MKB.
This is the
5 stones.
Okay, moon shard.
Alright, catch the moonshot. FNG now has a Shadow Blade. There's like 5 gems in the game so far. Let me just buy a Shadow Blade because why not?
Just for courier sniping. He's become a 92-minute bounty hunter at this point.
My pet thanks you.
But they do bring the moon shard back. So Crystallize will pick that up.
Five extenders. There's one on DP, one on Sniper, one on the Murano, none on the PL yet for 2 minutes fully. I believe they want to wait for that. Because this game could definitely use some more waiting.
Well, we're an hour and a half in at this point. What's an extra 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, like at this point it doesn't even matter anymore. It's not only that, like, I don't know. I usually really complain about Naga picks, but this is like, this feels like Naga Tinker versus a Terrorblade.
Good old sniper high.
Just that there's like, there's no classic late game hero. Wait, what are you buying, Illidan? Are you buying your own rapier when you have one on your base? Or is this a nullifier? Please tell me it's a nullifier. It must be one. Yeah, it is. Okay. You're not getting trolled. That would be strat, right? You just get a rapier on your PL. You pretend like it's theirs, then you feed it in so they think, yeah, we have the rapier, we overcommit, then they push down mid lane, you just finish them.
Now you're thinking, Bottom. Now you're thinking. The ultimate late game tactic.
Like, if you're 95 minutes in, you gotta have like the ultimate late game strat. You better put all your TI strats out of here.
Until Sniper gets a rapier and you just lose. But hopefully, I mean, that is a next level game. Alright, double damage rune on Illidan here. Got the flutter, gotta make his way to base.
Yeah, look. Yeah, Illidan with that movement speed. Run at him. Looks so goofy.
Dire base littered with sentries.
Yeah, and then there's Chen just farming jungle creeps at 95 minutes because he's literally not needed in the fight. He has one job, that is to press Hand of God when PL gets low.
Does have a Hex, maybe, you know, want to use that, but... But he can continue to upgrade that Dagon, so understandable that he's farming in the jungle. Plus, at this point, it's become PvE, right?
Oh yeah, the Stone Spirit lands with the Aghanim's on the Rubik. That's the most exciting thing that happened in the last 10 minutes.
Times are dire when you've gone for the offensive noble. General in trouble here. They don't get the nullifier off just yet, though. And now they do after he's been forced back. And so they're unable to really take him out. Projectile speed a little bit too slow there. Arrow does connect onto Illidan. Ice Blast gonna fly out. Assassinate is there as well. He's lifted into the air and forced forward. Can they bring down Illidan? He gets the Doppelganger off back towards safety. And NaVi not willing to commit out of their base.
Yeah, no study stone. Nice courier. Where was that? No items though, so... Interesting.
He went into the enemy fountain and looked at the rapier. Literally sent the courier on a death mission. Hex mid lane. Biver comes in and finds General, but he doesn't really have much support. As now G gonna jump forward with the hasted exorcism. Looks for the Shivas, trying to take down General, and will be able to get him. 99 seconds on the silence, but does have buyback. Crystallize now, looking to reset with his unit. Cold Feet gonna proc on a couple of Team Spirit heroes. Glimpse back. Hex. Crystallize in trouble. Gonna get glimmered and forced away a couple of times. Now lift up onto the DP. Illidan taking a few right clicks. Cold Feet was gonna proc. They can't bring him down though. And Assassinate will be dodged by the Eul Scepter. BKB Doppelganger there from Illidan. Now on the north side. They'll hex up the Sand King once again. General is gonna die as a pig. Now glimpse back. Dendi gonna dodge it with the BKB. Exorcism popped once again. Arrow gonna fly out, not gonna connect on anything significant. G gonna start to put work into the tier 4s. There's no split push play available for NaVi. They get the nullifier off onto the sniper, but he's able to be forced onto the high ground. Cheese is gonna be popped by Mirana, but Crystallize still in trouble here with the Pit of Malice Root, keeping her in place. Still, though, Objective Gaming as Team Spirit work on the tier 4s. Ice Blast is going to connect onto 2, but on the north side, Lil in trouble. Illidan going forward onto the sniper. Dendi's going to be brought down. He buys back immediately. They're starting to work on the throne, though, and do they have an answer for this just yet? Cold Feet going to be propped by LeBron. They need to be able to take out Illidan and G, and they haven't been able to do it, and Team Spirit, 97 minutes and 45 seconds into the game, are going to bump NaVi down to the lower bracket. I'm sure Vega and Empire just breathed a sigh of relief, as did the 10 players in this game. Bottom 97 minutes in. Spirit will finally take it.
I just really hope there's still a break for the NaVi players. It might be even that the Vega game or best of 3 is already over.
Yeah, I mean, so I think hopefully, but I think the game will be played tomorrow in the lower bracket. So either way, they're going to be able to reset and think about, you know, all the possible mistakes that were made in 97 minutes.
Yeah, gonna sit down, eat some pizza maybe.
Yeah, well, hopefully, you know, all of the members of the team will eat the pizza together, but either way. NaVi gonna drop this one. They looked a little shaky versus Vega yesterday. Team Spirit, though, looking fairly resilient throughout the game. Some good decision making from them, good itemization as well. That Aeon Disc really helped pole vault G kind of into the late game, and a couple of good Roche fights for them, despite their PL being a little bit behind, able to kind of pole vault them into a scenario where they had the run of the map in the late game, and General caught a few times with the Hex from the Chen was going to ensure his death. So
ultimate question, is the AoE Cold Feet worth it?
I don't know. I feel like Illidan dies in that top lane push if they had the 4%. He wasn't level 25 at that point, though, I believe. So arguable, but you know, in any case, as far as I've seen the talent, it's 0-1 right now in Pro Dota. So NaVi gonna take the drop here, guys. Thanks for joining us here on twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit, or wherever you're watching for GESC Thailand. We are gonna have more than likely one more match of the day, unless it's been postponed. So stick around on the stream. I'll update you guys shortly on that. NaVi gonna drop this one. Team Spirit with the victory, 2-1.